I tested out a new ICT model and the results are crazy, giving me over a 75% win rate. And in this video, I'm going to explain you exactly how it works. But let's start off with the basics. We tested it on Forex Tester Online, and I'm going to show you more or less how it works. So basically, we are going to be working with the Asian range, as we can see just down here, and we're going to wait for the price to break out, get a market structure shift, and then get another market structure shift to actually get into the trend. Because obviously, when price breaks out of one of the sides of the Asian range, it means there's some volume that wants to go on that side. So knowing that, we know that a lot of times we can see things happening like this, where price comes here, comes above the Asian range, and then drops completely down. So obviously, to avoid being trapped in this, because this at the end of the day is pure liquidity sweeps, we are adding a few filters more, and with this we won't be cashed out. So just to give you a quick example, we can maybe go here and trace our box. Say this is the Asian range, and basically the price will be moving in here. We'll have all these moves up and down, and we're going to wait for the price to break one of the sides. So once it breaks one of the sides, basically now we're going to wait for the market structure to break down. But obviously we must know that this isn't going to happen every single day, because this is a really premium setup. So we won't get a trade every day, but when we do get a trade, we know it's going to have a high win rate. So once this has happened, basically now we're going to wait for the market structure to shift. So the price is here, comes here above, and boom, we get a market structure shift. So obviously now what a lot of traders would do is enter a short, because it's broken above, it's done its it's swept the highs, and now it's going to go down. But we're going to do completely the opposite. So now we've seen this, basically we're going to wait for the price to just continue down. It comes here, has pullback, comes down lower, and boom, we get another market structure shift. But in this time, it's in favor of the first breakout that we got of this Asian range. Obviously we could change this for a London range, for a New York range, but I really like to trade the Asian range because it gets a really high win rate. So now we've got this second market structure shift. Basically, we are going to enter the position, our entry just above here, because we're going to enter in with buy and stop positions. So basically, we're going to put the stop loss below the recent low, and the take profit, we're not going to put any take profit. Obviously, we can change things around. We can go for risk reward 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, whatever you feel comfortable with. But with this backtest, what I have done is just leave the profits run until we get to the rollover. So 5 minutes before the rollover, I'm going to basically close all the positions. And that's how simple it works. And believe me guys, this is crazy, the results that we can get. So now we know this, basically what we're going to come down here is to the chart. And as you can see, I have a special indicator. This is a custom indicator that you can only find on Forex Tester Online. So if we come to indicators, basically here, if I come to my indicators, I can see it here. It would be Asian range sweep plus market structure. So now we come here, we just have to come to settings to basically set the time. In this case, the Asian range for me starts at 0, so this would be midnight, to 8 o'clock in the morning, where the London opener happens. So now we've got this. Basically now I need another checkbox where basically it's the Asian range size. So in this case, the minimum must be 30 pips. And now I just need to go for the session start. That'll be from 8 o'clock, basically when London opens, until more or less 5 o'clock in the evening. So that's more or less the time that I'm going to be trading. And if I got an open trade, then obviously I'll close it when the rollover happens. Or we can change the risk reward to anyone we want, and we can test it in future videos if this one's got much love. So let's continue with this. Now we've got our indicator basically set up. What this indicator is going to do is basically obviously show me my open range. This would be the range from the Asian session, as we can see here. And now the Asian session has finished. What we're going to have is a breakout. Okay, so it's broke out below. So now what we need to wait is for a market structure shift. So if we come a bit below, we just have to keep going, and then we can see a green line. And this is basically because we can see that we got a market structure shift here. Okay, because the price came up here, made a new low, and this new low came above and made a new high respect from the recent low. So basically this is a market structure shift. So what we do now is basically wait for another market structure shift and enter the position, because that way we're going in favor of the breakout, but we are not being the liquidity, we are going with basically the market makers. So now this has happened, basically what I will do is just place my sell stop just below this low. If it continues going up, I'll just keep moving my sell stop just above. But in this case, I'm going to put it down here. So I just have to come here, stop, sell, and place it just above, below there. I'm going to set the stop loss of a 1%. And our stop loss, like I said before, is going to go just above the high. Okay, so basically there we go. Our risk is set, we'll place the order, and now we just need to wait for the price to break below. So there we go, it's broken below, our stop loss is set correctly. If not, we'd have to adjust it. If price would have gone higher up, we'd have to change the order, but in this case, it's perfect. And now basically, I just need to wait for the price to go. And as you can see, we had a nice pullback here. We had the manipulation just happening here, and we just entered in favor of the manipulation. So basically, there it come down, there it's coming down, and now we just need to wait for midnight, okay, for the next rollover. So we just need to leave the price go down, see our profits go up. And as you can see, this line here is marking our rollover. And basically here, I would say, there we go, this is a rollover. So I'll be closing my position here. So this would be midnight, or we could even close it just before here. This would be more or less at 4 o'clock. We can set any time we want to, really, because obviously this is not the holy grail. We can add any changes of that, and this is the best part of having Forex Tester, because at the end of the day we can do all the changes. And not only that, we can as well check on analytics inside to see if it gives us any hints of how we can improve the strategy, that if the video has got much love, we can test that in the next video. But this trading day has come to the end, and basically now I just have to close my position. I entered with $100 risk and I've left with 552. So hey, let's close this trade. 5% in our pocket in the first trade. So hey, this is brilliant. So don't forget to leave a like to this video, because you won't see strategies like this on other YouTube channels. So let's continue forward on, and obviously we're going to go to the next London session. So we only need to come here, go to, and open session. So this will be the London Open. Basically, we've got our nice Asian range here, and now basically we just need to wait again for the price to break through. So just have to wait here. There it goes. We have the break through, and now we just need to wait for the market to have our market structure. We can see that is reflected here, the market structure shift here. So now we've got our market structure shift here. Basically, what we need to do is wait for another market structure shift. So basically, what we're seeing now, if the price comes above here, basically we are going to enter the position. So I'm going to put my buy stop just above here and put our stop loss just below here. Okay, so now I've got this set. We're going to set it to a 1% risk, and just have to wait for price to either touch it or go below it and modify our position. So let's see if we break through. There we go, broke through nicely. So now we only need to wait for the price to continue to one of the sides. Hopefully it will go in our favor, and wait for the rollover. So in this case, we're coming to the rollover, and there we go. As we can see, if we wait until right at the end, the spread is going to go huge. So I always do it 5 minutes before to avoid this huge spreads opening, because a lot of times they can hit your stop loss as well, just because the spread goes wild. So in this case, we'll be closing the position here, not as much as the last day, but we're still in profit. So we made another $50 here. So in this case, we've had a negative risk reward, but in any case, it's a win, and already having a 5% of the day before, I think it's completely excellent. So now we just need to go straight again, go to London Open, and there we go. And this basically is the best part of Forex Tester Online, that it just saves you tons of time scrolling through the charts when you can just use go to all the time. So there we have our nice breakout. No, not yet. This is a breakout. Perfect. And now we just need to wait for price to break against again. So we can see it maybe happening down here. There we go. And now we just need to wait for the price. So we see how the indicator shows it. And now we just need to wait for the price to go above again. So I wouldn't count this yet as a market structure break, because we'll always put our buy or sell stop just a bit below, just a bit above. So in this case, it was good because it retraced straight down again. And there we got a nice closing above. So obviously this will be the nice entry. So we're going to put our buy stop just above here, and put the stop loss just down here, because obviously it's the last low, and set our risk reward to a 1%. And there we go. So obviously we know that it already flew through, and there we go, nice movement up. We've already made a risk reward of 1 to 1, and this is where you can add your own risk management, basically perhaps like closing out 1 to 1, 1 to 2, taking half of the position off, putting break even, using trailing stops, whatever. Because obviously just by waiting to the end of the day, maybe it isn't the best way, or is it not? Drop me down in the comments what you think. But as you can see, the price flew up, but obviously it can come back down again. This is a problem because if we look at here, right up here, basically had a risk reward of a 1 to 2.5, and losing this obviously isn't the best idea, but for the sake of the backtest, it's what I've done to just see the potential that we can get out of this strategy. So basically now we just need to wait, and it will be closing at 10 o'clock. So we'll just have to wait for the clock to be at 10 o'clock, just before the rollover, 21:54. So that'll be our closing time. Risk reward of 1 to 1.5. It's still okay. I mean, I'm not going to have any problems with that, but obviously we have left some profits on the table and we must take that in consideration for further backtests. But in any case, we are going to close basically here, and there we go. We've made, in 3 days, we've already made a 7.6%. And I must say that as well, that this isn't always like this, because obviously we don't get trades every single day, because some trades, it can just fly in one direction and not give us a setup. But when it does, guys, it works perfectly. So let's go again to the next London session, and there we go. Just have to wait for our next breakout, and as you can see, it is so simple to use, it's so mechanical, and I'm so happy to be able to bring you this, because at the end of the day, it's ICT can be something really difficult to understand, but as you can see here, this is really simple, and that's what I love of taking hard, difficult strategies, breaking them down and making them simple so you can see it and try it out on Forex Tester. So let's continue with our breakout, and now just basically we want price to do our first market structure shift. That will be doing it if it comes below this line down here. So there we go, that's our market structure shift. And now if it goes above here, it will be entering a long position. So here we go, nice one here. This would be the entry, because obviously this wick would have taken us in. So basically I'm going to put my buy stop just above here. As well, I must mention that market structure can be sometimes a bit difficult to understand, because a lot of people can see a market structure shift by maybe down here, some can see it up here, things like that. Me personally, when it's choppy like this, I like to take the high, and that's it. Obviously, just to make sure that I think that is the best way, but obviously everybody can understand it a bit different, so you have to need to practice and backtest it on your own. And by backtesting as well, I just want to let you know that right now Forex Tester has got a nice discount just down here below, so you can get it for a bit more cheaper and backtest your strategies and not lose any more money on the markets until you're completely ready. But let's continue with this backtest, and let's put our buy stop just above here. Our stop loss is going to go right down here. And now we all set our 1% risk, and there we go. So like we saw, this wick would take us in here, and let's just hope it doesn't go to the stop loss. In this case it has, that's no problem. Obviously we can take a stop loss after taking a risk reward of 1 to 5, another 1 to 1.5, and another 0.5. So obviously even with this stop loss, we are still up a 6.5%. That for me is completely brilliant. Just getting a 6 or 7% in 1 week is magic, so I have nothing to worry about. And as well, another thing that I tend to do is that once I get an X amount of profit in a week, I just stop trading. So in any case, I would have stopped trading already, this strategy. But let's go to the next London session, because this is a fun part of it, that basically we can just try things out without losing any money. And obviously that is, for me, it's just the best part of backtesting. So there we can see we got some nice market structure forming on the downside, so we'll be waiting for the market structure shift. This case, the indicator, I don't think this was the best market structure shift, but we'll take it as okay. But I would be waiting for a shift just above here. But let's take this one here just for the laughs and for the sake. So let's see if it does it. Okay, so we've got the first market structure shift and the second one here. So now we'll be entering the short position. So basically, let's put our sell just below here, and the stop loss will be just above here. There we go. Set this to a 1% risk, and let's place the order, and let's see what happens. So, well, that is a really nice push down. We've already made a risk reward of 1 to 2. So this is where I say that we could consider using different types of risk management just to protect our capital, because ladies and gentlemen, look at this. We're looking at a risk reward of 1 to 8. And obviously, I don't think any human being would be keeping this position open knowing that it could retrace. But let's continue, see if it goes any lower or it comes back to our entry point. So we're just coming near to 10 o'clock, so we're still quite okay in profit. And let's just wait here, just go a bit to 21, 54. We end in with a risk reward of 1 to 6. So this is brilliant. Obviously, this is brilliant. We're saying that in 1 week, we've already had a 12% profit. So we've already passed a prop challenge with the strategy in only 1 week. We've already made more than the 8% that they normally ask for, and we'll be already a 4% in profit of the second stage. So we only need to get 1% to get the fully funded account. So I think this is brilliant because it's just one after another after another. So let's go to the next one and see what we get. And now we finished our backtest, let's check out all the results. So as we can see, we've already made a 26%, nearly a 27% in an average of 3 months. So like I said, we don't get set up every single day, but even like that, we nearly made a 10% each month of profit. So hey, that is a huge win, at least for me. If we come to analytics, we can see that we had some interesting metrics here, like a 70% win rate. And as well, we had, like I said, nearly a 27% return. But guys, we only had a max drawdown of a 2.6%. I mean, that is really, really small compared to the huge return we've had. Not only that, our profit factor is completely out of the moon. Nearly a profit factor of 5. That is absolutely insane. I don't think this will hold out at 5 if we do 1,000 trades, honestly. But even like that, this is a huge profit factor and it's a really good starting point. So we can see we made a total of 30 trades, 3 months of trading in 2025. And like I say, for me, these results are complete magic. But the best part is that we can come here to Analytics Insight and we can study a few hints that it gives us to make our strategy even better, like try avoid reevaluating your strategy during unprofitable sessions. If we click on here, we can see the sessions that went good, the sessions that went bad. We can see that in the European session we had a 57% win rate. Meanwhile, in the New York session we had a 76% win rate. As well, in the Asian session it counted in 1 trade here, but we can see that in the New York session we got better trades than in the European session. So that is quite interesting because that means that if it's been consolidating more or less in the same range during the European session, we're going to get a nice move in the New York session. So it's given us a small hint there that we can take in consideration, and other things like basically adding some time-based exit rules or trailing stops, or simply just changing the profit targets, like stick risk reward of 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, or just basically add some break evens or trailing stops like it's saying here, or like I say, like it says here, try managing trades to achieve a 2 to 1 risk reward. But in any case, the strategy is beautiful. I'm really happy to be able to share it to you completely for free. So I hope you leave a nice like just down here below and subscribe to the channel so you can see even more incredible trading strategies. And just remember that my name is Jack. I hope you're all good, and I'll see you next time.